broadcasting from some time after the sun sets and somewhere not too far from the briar patch, we hear the ramblings of the white rabbit. Good evening and welcome, fellow bosses, to the inaugural ramblings of the White Rabbit. Today's show is going to be a brief cut as we break in some of this new technology. I want to discuss only one topic, and that is a conversation that we had with an agency that is seeking to acquire other ABA firms. So we all know that the field of ABA is being overrun with venture capitalists and private equity firms that are stepping in to the fray, beginning to do whatever they can to acquire not what they see as opportunities to serve, but what they see as assets to further their bottom line. Now that end result can be argued. That's the entire purpose of the private equity fund's existence, is to produce for its investors. Now they happen to see an opportunity in the autism market, not to provide some exceptional level of service because they've developed a new technology. No, they want in on the quote unquote cash cow as they see it. And they seek to capitalize on the ignorance of typical behavior analysts when it comes to business topics. Now, this doesn't have to be you. The Cummings Institute recently put an article out. What did they have to say? They said there's a 10-year window, 2018 to 2028, and that is the time that our industry, applied behavior analysis, is going to have exponential growth. After that, the field is going to start to become saturated. Regulations will change. All sorts of new technologies will enter the fray. And ironically enough, that timeline, before that was even released, happens to be exactly the timeline that we gave in the book Behave Like a Boss. 10 years. The window of opportunity sits agape. And we want to encourage you that it's not as difficult as you might think to learn some of the business aspects to running a behavior analytic practice ethically. Now, getting to this call, so without revealing exactly who it was, this is a major firm that operates out of Texas and is acquiring agencies right and left. They recently picked up 4 firms in Illinois. They think it said something around 12 over the Kentucky area, 12 different locations. And how are these firms different from typical private equity firms? Well, they're a little bit different because supposedly the guys running them have more of a heart. But again, hey, these are not behavior analysts that are running these types of firms. Now, they're moving in and they're acquiring. Why are they doing that? They're preparing for the continued growth in hiring and staffing of behavior analysts. Our field is only beginning to take off. Give it 5 years, give it 7 years. There's going to be significantly more individuals entering the field of ABA who are qualified as behavior analysts. At that time, these other firms, these private equity individuals, venture capitalists, they will be established. Now, if you're afraid to step out, you're afraid to try something new, I don't blame you. Look, what do we know in ABA? Anytime you do something the first time, it's the highest response effort. But the more and more you do anything, you're going to grow in fluency. Now, business is not calculus. It's addition and subtraction. You can learn this stuff. It just takes discipline. Now, if you sacrifice 5-7 years of your life to work, you say, that sounds pretty tough, Colin. Okay, how many people in the world have that opportunity to even decide if it's tough or not? Less than 3% maybe? And that's probably being very generous. It's probably far less than 1%. You have the chance to be great. And one thing that we've noticed just in our travels, in our experience, look, man, people are satisfied with mediocrity. People are okay with being average. Now, that's not bad. We're not knocking them. But listen to me. You can be great. Now, when we look around and we see that many people who have opportunities to be great still choose not to even try, it should only encourage us. Not that it's difficult, that it's going to be even easier. Less people who are trying to climb to the top. Guys, this is the chance of a lifetime. Now, this company's coming in and they're buying up companies between $5 and $15 million. That right there is, I don't want to call it selling out, but behavior analysts are the ones that know the science of ABA. The business side is not that complicated that you can't learn it.
What kind of moves you got? Your boy got moves. You been at home watching, studying YouTube.